Hey Vegeta, what's the hype level at?
It's over 9,000! What?
Hey everyone, this is Amal again from I Like to Watch Stuff, and I just saw the Star Wars trailer and it blew my mind. And I just had to make a video where I talk about the trailer. Let's jump right into it. So the trailer opens as we see Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, exploring this big ship of some kind with a possible pew pew staff behind her. Then we hear this voice saying, "Who are you?" asking Rey, and this sounds like Lupita Nyong'o, who's playing this animated character in the movie. And when Rey says, "I'm no one," that just reminded me of the whole hero's journey, origin, tropes, etc. blah blah blah. Next, we get a few shots that are very reminiscent of the first Star Wars movie. We see Rey walking distance with BB-8, and next we also see her staring blankly at something. These shots are very reminiscent of the first Star Wars movie. So you can definitely tell J.J. Abrams is really grinding that nostalgia wheel. Next, we get an amazing shot where we see the stormtroopers, and it's very interesting that the imagery is very reminiscent of Nazi imagery and all that, with the reds, whites, and blacks. Next, we hear Finn, played by John Boyega, saying, "I was raised to do one thing, blah blah blah," and he removes his helmet. Now, to me, he sounds like he's really unsure of himself, and maybe that might be the plot of the movie, where he discovers that he's special somehow, and that kind of changes his views about the new First Order in this film. Then we see this TIE fighter that is blown up and is hurtling towards the desert, and this is Finn probably in the TIE fighter that he might have stolen to get away somehow. Next, we see that Finn survived the crash and lands on this desert-like planet. The location is pretty similar to the shot in the first trailer where he's running away for something. Possibly stormtroopers after it, maybe? Next, we cut to Kylo Ren in his menacing, computer-modulated villainy voice that tells us that he's a threat. And the cliched J.J. Abrams lens flare. Yeah, look at that. Then we hear Kylo Ren saying something to the effect of that he's gonna continue what Vader started. It might be to kill all the Jedis, or build a new Death Star, or yada yada. We'll see. Then we see Oscar Isaac, or Poe Dameron in this movie, being Force mindfucked. I kind of like the whole darker-ish tone that we got going on, but this was a really interesting scene to see in the trailer, as it was a really dark moment. And then immediately after, you see this planet or something being blown away. It's possibly the new orb eyeball thing, the Death Star, that probably destroyed everything. The thing on the poster, by the way. Then we get some badass shots of the Millennium Falcon just flying through, fighting these TIE fighters, and it's awesome. This is what we want, more fights. Next, we cut to Han telling Rey and Finn that everything they've heard about Jedis, etc., it's all true. And this is really interesting because it suggests that in the movie, a lot of time has gone by, and the Jedi and the Force have been sort of, been made into legends and etc. I also like how Rey and Finn are acting just like Han in the first movie when he finds out about the Force and he, doesn't believe it at first. Yeah, J.J. Abrams, you grind that nostalgia wheel. Then we see this awesome light speed thing. Colors, woo! Next we see probably one of my favorite shots in this trailer, which is just Kylo Ren and his group of knights, I would say. And it just has a really cool aesthetic, and gets me pumped for what this scene might entail. Then we see this battle going on, really puts the war in Star Wars. Then Poe and Finn have this nice moment where he kind of pats on his back and is like, "Yeah, we could do this." Really suggests some sort of friendship between the two, or mutual respect. Then we see a lot of explosions and Finn and Rey and BB-8 running around. Then we see Rey and Finn and Han headed into this random place with a lot of flags. I'm not really sure what this planet is or what these flags mean at all, but I think it's really interesting that Han is sort of leading them throughout the film. Then we see possibly Luke patting on R2-D2's head, but I'm still not sure if that's Luke, because it just seems this is really sinister angle to get him at from. Then we see the badass Captain Phasma just walking sinisterly. Then Rey is crying. Did she lose someone? Someone's gonna die in this movie. I don't know who. Kinda looks like Chewie. Then we see all of them with their hands held up, looking all afraid, or looking like some sort of help has arrived. And then we hear Carrie Fisher or Princess Leia saying, "The Force, it's calling you." And it could be towards Rey or even Finn. Then we see some more awesome pew pew noises and starship battles. It's really cool. Then we see some more badass shots. And then we see Han and Leia embrace. And I'm not sure if it's because someone died or they haven't seen each other in a long time, but really interesting shot, intriguing. This by far was another one of my favorite shots as we see Kylo Ren coming closer towards Finn, and Finn looks afraid. It's awesome. He's like, oh shit, I gotta do this. It's also interesting that Ren's not wearing his mask at this point. Then the title card comes in and the John Williams music booms. What is gonna suck now is waiting for 2 whole months until this movie comes out. This movie's gonna come out on December 18th and the tickets are all sold out. Anyways, I am beyond excited for this movie and am praying I get to see this movie before this year ends. So yeah guys, let me know what were your thoughts about this trailer and some of your favorite scenes from it. Also, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more.